buonasera, buongiorno, whatever is good for you. I'm from Hungary, so I'm not even know what is the proper to say the date for you. So my name is Imre McKay. I'm from Gainlab Audio from Hungary. We are audio manufacturers, which has been started business about 4 years ago. So you may think we are beginners, but we have quite a long time. When we were started about 20 years ago, every one of us have started the business. And I would like to introduce you to some of challenges we had during the development of our products. And I also want to introduce you to some of the novelties that we have implemented to our own designs. This is our logo, very important to remember this one and remember me also. Just like I said, we're a young company with Audio Outboards, which means that we're not making synthesizers, which can be strange in this area, but we are the newcomers who came here by Milk Audio, so they were asking us to be on this event, and we are one of those who are giving you products that will be good for you when at the end of the day you are finalizing your music. So we are not in the way when you are making it, but to make a proper record out of it. If you look out to the web page, you will find several products that are, looking great, maybe. And I want to introduce you how we developed them and why we developed them, and what was the road that changed our mind. Even if we look for the past, you may find some of the units maybe similar to ours. And I want to convince you there is a big difference in those units that you'll find on the market and the ones we are making. So the big question is coming, where is our musical taste is coming from? And the answer can be found actually in the 60s. When the first recordings has been made in the Abbey Road studio. Those was the pioneering time of musical recordings. And in those days, those engineers have developed the basics of those units that we are using currently. And what I mean about the behavior of the unit, which we need to use when we are doing sound recording, a simple tracking. We need preamplifiers with kind of character. The character, what we love today, we learned from those devices that made records in the 60s. The Beatles have made his record in this studio, in this particular studio. And our taste of how we react to the sound that we say it's a good sound or it's a bad sound, it comes from there. That was the golden era when many of those devices that we are using currently have been developed. Especially the 60s and the 70s were those days when, during the development of electronic components, it gives to the engineers new ideas what to do and how to do it. I'm saying that the technical development of the age, it's an important thing, because in the 60s, when the whole thing has been started, the technical directors and the engineers were quite flooded with tubes. Anything they wanted to do, they did with tubes. All the solutions, electronic solutions that have been implemented into any device were made by tubes. As a result, they were cost like hell, especially in those days when the musical industry was not as wide as it is today. So they were quite unique, super expensive. A little part of people only understood how they work, and if they understood, they were very proud of it. But actually, they made fantastic units and fantastic ideas that lives today in today's industry also. So just a small example of what has happened in those days. This is the Fairchild 670's back. I'm not showing the front because the front, everybody knows, it's a huge, heavy unit, which is kind of cost of a car. But the secret lies behind, it's on the back plate. As you can count, it's about 21 tubes are implemented into that design, which was made in the late 60s. And the cause of that design was that anything you want to use or do in that electronic unit has to be made by tubes. Even the power part, the input part, the output part, and the heart of the unit itself. So if we want to keep just the heart, it's only a small amount of tubes. But to manufacture today, this unit costs a hell of a money. It's about 10,000 euros, dollars, whatever, but it starts with 10,000 for sure. And it's because the technology today is not really available. So to collect this amount of tubes, those special ones from new old stock, it's really complicated. It costs a lot, and we have tons of transformers and different things that currently have contemporary designs available for. So what if I look for another example for you? I'm sure you know this Pultec equalizer. This was born in 1955, and still how many plugins are trying to replicate the sound of this unit? It's a great thing, I'm not complaining about it. But what we see is two things. One thing, it's huge, it's 3 units. Second thing, it's for one channel. And the third thing is that in the era of 1955, when this unit has been developed, this amount of control was actually more than enough. And it's not today. So today, maybe we will need something more. The music has been changed. We are continuously working with plugins with tons of options. So we are waiting for something in terms of outboard to be more flexible than this particular great unit. Another good example of everybody knows the LA2A from 1969. This is the original design for optical compressor. In that time of era, this compressor was used for smoothing out the vocals in such a nice way. And actually, if we would ask sound engineers in this room, they are still using that device for that purpose, which is great. And I'm not saying it's not okay, it's very okay. This is our roots, this is where we are coming from, and actually they introduced a way of doing compression with a special element, with the help of light, we are doing sound. So it's a great development of time. However, the controls are limited. Luckily, our grandmothers in the 70s started to cook new units from integrated components, which were available in white portfolio in that time. So the new generation also have been born of the legends. So I questioned myself, and at the company we questioned ourselves, okay, the great heritage of the whole audio industry is, we appreciate it and it's great, but in today's market, can we do anything which is a bit overlooking, which makes us different from the market? And I have to say we choose this way to stay different, and maybe we can say we can born some new legends out of the old ones. So what is the core of staying out from the crowd is to keep the heart of the unit as much as we can, and all the surrounding things that doesn't need it or can be exchanged to contemporary solutions, we can do that. And we will do that because still in the 60s fashion of making music and especially recording, the biggest problem was the noise. Everybody was about to reduce the noise of this way, that way, of tape recording, of different machines. In today's electronic component that surrounds you, the noise has been significantly reduced. and the components you can use are really available for operation on low noise level. But if we would use only integrated circuits, we would lose the heart of the things. So we say to ourselves, let's keep the heart and let's use the contemporary things which is around us to implement something a bit more interesting with maybe more features. As I told you, the Fairchild 670 was built up on 21 tubes. Actually, the Verimi compressor can be made in 4 tubes. So what we have done in our design, and I will explain it later, and maybe some of you have listened to that unit already, the heart of the things is hidden in 4 tubes, and actually we choose another way that originals have been chosen, so we are using different kind of tubes and built from the ground things. But I don't want to go forward too much, so let's start with the old thing. Let's see what we have done with the Pultec, or better say a passive equalizer is the same thing, just having 2 different names. Just to remembering you, this is the control level and section, what the single mono unit can do in terms of passive equalizers. What we have implemented, the name of the unit is the Empress, and you see we have much more controls, and not just putting a unit, a left-right unit into a 2-unit high box, but there are some more features which is helping you to work in contemporary circumstances with contemporary music, bass-heavy music, with less high-frequency music, to have lots of compensation that you never had a chance to do with in the past. If I can show you and highlight some things in our solution, the first thing is that it's a dual mono thing instead of a simple mono thing. All the controls we have are stepped, so recalling the unit in a mastering circumstances is very easy. All the components we have are hand selected for the left and right channel, so whatever you setup you make, you can be sure that the result is 100% the same for the 2 channels. You cannot do it really with 2 different time manufactured same kind of units, but separated units. We have a mid-band, which we never had on a Pultec, only if you buy the separate unit for another 10,000 euros. We have implemented the mid-band, and we have implemented several interesting solutions by giving a chance to move away those frequencies and frequency selections that originally were used in a passive equalizers. We have a boost normal and a boost shift function, which moves away the frequency that you're selecting on low boost, and we have the same solution for the high cut. So whatever high cut you select, you can move away with the cut shift button. Also in the Pultecs, in the regular ones, the high boost filter was a bell filter, and we can change it to a shelving one. And the last thing, and actually I marked it with green, is the tube boost button. The tube boost, as our unit is a tube-based product, the tube boost gives you a lot of saturation, a little bit more signal, and it makes the whole thing very musical. So, if we go a little forward, you may raise a question why it is better for me to buy this unit for 2,200 euros than buy a plugin for 39 from Waves. And I know you say, okay, he's a salesman and he's gonna say me, yeah, buy my product. I can tell some little differences that at the end of the day will be important for you. The thing we are looking for in our mixes is to somehow this way or that way to find the character. And the character is important for us because we want to be ourselves, and we want to stand out from the crowd. And we want to be using devices which is a little bit more different than the others. Electronic is helping us because of non-perfectness of the things. The linearity, what is can be found, especially in VCA compressors, is a great help for plugins to replicate the behavior of the VCA compressor. However, that linearity doesn't really exist at the Varimu compressors or optical compressors. Even the FET compressors workflow is not linear. That's why it can be applied in a plugin, but it's never going to be the same as electronics. I can tell from the ground that it's because every measured photoelectronic component that we do into our solution of opto compressor is different, and they have to be matched and they have to be measured, and they will not work in a similar way. So let me tell you about the compressor as we touched the Varimu itself. As I mentioned to you, the 670, the mother of all Varimus, is built up on 21 tubes, and we are making our solution with using the heart of it and surrounding it with contemporary components, and even redesign the workflow of the tube itself. So we are not using the original ones. We are using pentode instead of triodes for many other solutions. However, the controls are getting easy, and not so many things you have to twist and turn. So it's easy to work with them, and it doesn't need 10 units or 8 units and not 55 kilograms, and doesn't cost a car. I mean, even you can buy a car for this price, but it's going to be small for sure. So, and we added some little difference to our solution, is that our solution can work in low comp and high comp mode, which is a difference in terms of ratio, which is a highly incalculable method of the Varimu compressor. But you can turn from low comp to high comp, which means you can get more interesting sound and two versions of sound instead of just having a regular Varimu compressor. Sorry, I switched. Okay. The controls are easy, as always. It's a task for us to have controls easy, and for the end user to be in comfort with easily set up and reach the sound what you want. This is about the Varimu, what I can tell you. How about if we are looking for the optical solution, the optocompressor solution? Again, the LA2A comes into our mind, which is a very nice unit, big, super expensive because of the age of the replica, and have lack of control, which is at one part is great because you just turn it on and have one sound. But what if we say we can do much more out of that unit? What if we say we can do much more control and we can do a different unit than the simple optocompressor? So this is how we arrived to the governor, and you may be recognizing we have quite edgy names like the dictator, the governor, the empress, the bishop. This is what we love to do. So the governor is a very special compressor. We managed to have 2 threshold points instead of 1 threshold point, and the ratio after the second threshold point is changing, and so the picture is changing behind me. So if the ratio has been changed, then we are arriving to the second slope. So we built at the end of the day a 2-stage compressor with 1 unit. As you may see, we have 2 gain reductions, we have output level, we have a fancy screen, and we have tons of controls. And you may say, is the same LA2A? And I can say it's really not the same LA2A. But the heart of it is still the optical element that has been used in L808. We just modernized it in such a way as we can. Oh, I'm back again to this lady. So, we modernized it in a way as we can because we thought we have a different idea, and because we thought we have a more contemporary idea behind. And we have solved another great issue, is to synchronize two compressors together into one unit. And why it is important? Because today we are working in stereo environment, and we love to use our units in a stereo way when the unit does the same thing for the left and the right channel. In the 60s, that was not the case. That's the 60s, the optocompressor, the grandmother of all, were used for recording. Today, we're using it for a bus compression, or we can use it for trackings. I don't want to go into details for this unit because it's highly complicated. Actually, you can listen to it at our booth. What I try to highlight you is that we want to stand out from the crowd with solutions that nobody else is doing, with solutions that have been modified like nobody else is doing. And we believe that this is our way, and we can do something that is not expected, really. As I may say, we started only 4 years ago, and we were lucky to have many units out to the live productions, and many sound engineers are using our products in live situations since about 2 years. So for 2 years, our units on the road every day, from the truck to the truck, do the live show, and again and again and again. I can say our units are really versatile and can survive anything, really. Yeah, we're quite proud of it. Also, we have spread globally really well. In 31 countries we are available, and I have 25 partners in the world. And actually, you can find our partner here at Milk Audio, and please contact them and find them, and our products are available them, and you can demo them, and they are good friends of ours. So for me, that was the thing that I wanted to say to you about contemporary designs and solutions what Gainlab can bring to you. And I ask you to visit the booth or come to Milk Audio and enjoy the time and make some good music. Thank you for your attention.